underway, and Marshall will take a knee in for Oregon against Eastern Washington. Threw for a couple of touchdowns, 246 yards in his first snap, and they'll give it to Freeman.
And how react to this atmosphere.
Adams' first pass is complete. Got it out to Charles Nelson. Nelson, who didn't play
quicker receivers on the inside.
Pickup of 19. Now back to the ground, and Marcus Mariota's picture on the play card.
I like that.
Adams getting rushed, and he just tossed him in long situation.
Right here, the defensive end does a great job of just sniffing that out.
Point. Oregon deadly third and short. Not quite as proficient on third and long. Adams, nice grab out of the backfield, and Freeman will have Pac-12 offensive freshman of the year last year. He has again. He's running through Spartans. Almost had a mishap with the official trying to get out away from the snap to allow the substitute Adams. Flags fly.
Number 62 on the offense.
Devin Allen. You see him getting ripped. Devin Allen, who hurt his knee on the kickoff. Nelson back. You have Allen making his first appearance this year as well. Adams escapes a little trouble, throws it to the outside. Adams being chased. Gets away from one. Now Adams firing toward the end zone. Just
the country.
Running back is Kenai Benoit. Nelson gets it out in the flat. He's got a couple of blockers. Nelson spins his way. Three receivers top of the screen. They'll keep it on the ground. Freeman, big hole, burst inside the 10 and down in the middle
with Freeman.
Michigan State was scrambling to get lined up. Vernon Adams keeps it.
Game.
Give Freeman. Finds his way nicely into the end. Threw for more than 100 touchdowns and 10,000 yards. I know it was at the end.
Also, I talked about being 13 plays, 7 of them on the ground, 6 through the air.
The kickoff specialist for the Ducks. And deep into the end zone and being encouraged to stay put is Art.
Yeah.
Connor Cook at quarterback for Michigan State. Spartans will keep it on the ground. Madre London racing into Duck territory, running over an Oregon defender, and that's a quick strike.
You work all week to come up with your favorite plays. Look at this. I mean, Brian Allen, the left guard, had no one to block. That play opened up so well. The left guard had nobody.
In the last game against Western Michigan, 62 on that carry. Worked well once. Go back to him, but this time ranked running back in the country according to ESPN. Connor Cook, play fake to the end zone. You know who he is.
Well, he does a great job at the line of scrimmage of getting off of the defensive end, the outside linebacker who's trying to get his hand right there. He uses his hands to get around French, and then it's just a mismatch. He runs away from the defender, the corner who's trying to... That was pretty quick.
How about the roll
team with their ability to score points?
Byron Marshall chased back into the end zone, and this time he'll bring it out. Marshall went for a little crease. Now he breaks it back, and he's got room. He's got room and some help on the outside. Marshall does.
On defense, but on special teams because of guys like this. You get their football in the hands. A great block there by the big tight end, Evan Bayless. And then that's just athletic ability and vision. You get him.
Well, Kirk, he's the only guy in Pac-12 history to finish season with 1,000 yards rushing, and then the next one, 1,000 receiving. Charles Nelson appears to be on
his wide receivers. That's why there's such room to run.
Freeman
hit a crease and get vertical in a hurry.
Adams left it, and the ball's on the ground. Freeman put it down, and Oregon ball for Oregon.
And that's the answer as far as if you're Michigan State. How do you split lineman and you get penetration?
Vernon Adams needs 18. He's gonna.
They drop 8. He's looking his primary. Right away, he sees nothing but green jerseys. Nowhere to go with the ball, and he's got to eat it. Michigan State on third down. If they can get Oregon to 3rd and 7 plus.
Ian Wheeler, you haven't seen him this year because this is his first punt of the year. And it was not necessarily. Has the ball back, spreading it out all over the place. Quick pass out from Connor Cook. R.J. Shelton.
He's going to be playing some corner tonight as well.
2nd down and 10. Cook. Quick pass. Now Connor Cook will try to convert this 3rd down. Cook Fires it into a tight. Hartbarger. It's a better punt than Wheeler did for Oregon. They're trying to flip the field with a kicking game, and excellent. Going full bore too. Back to the ground with Royce Freeman. He's
Definitely favors Michigan State defensive line.
Freeman gets out in the flat and empties, and Adams throws it all.
Malik McDowell on the right, coming in right into the face of quarterback. Vernon affect his vision looking downfield.
Michigan State is rotating defensive lineman. Adams gets away from a sure sack, but he doesn't.
They showed blitz. He's going to come in from the left. They showed blitz, and then they disguised it, and they only turning point of the game.
But the result did not change. And another short punt from Wheeler and a bad bounce. 25-yard punt. And now back to the ground for Michigan State. He's helped to the Michigan State sign. Checking him at right tackle.
To capitalize on this opportunity after the punt, the punts from both teams, they're in plus territory. They've been trying to get points.
Cook firing it complete. Burbridge has it. He's
the coverage and the information. Here, this coverage is going to go out here. It clears it up right in the middle, but it just, he has an ability when he gets back there, he's ready to get the ball out of his hands.
London, big crease up the middle. Madre London.
Want to look at 66, the center. He's trying to find somebody to block. It's the second time we've left side.
London behind Big Jack Conklin. Yeah. But it's been the middle guys who created some space. Right up the gut is London. He gets inside.
He just likes to get physical and just blow people up. Watch this right here as he opens up that left side. He just eliminates the defensive end. He didn't.
Michigan State has put Damian Terry in at quarterback. He's a good running threat, but Oregon is ready.
This guy right here, Coleman, he sees this in practice all the time. So he gets off his block, not worried much about the tight end, and then out in.
Trying to put the Spartans on top. Short field goal up on the way, and it is no season. Now Vernon Adams goes back to work with a minute and a half, just over that, left to go in the first quarter.
Quick passes to those receivers.
Adams instead taking a shot, getting his man out there, and it's intercepted, fought away and stripped away by Monte Nicholson.
Says you got to attack the inside coverage, man-to-man from the safeties. Nelson gets behind him, but the ball is underthrown. You can see he's lost at that point. He just happens to turn and just pull the ball away from Charles Nelson.
Ray Waynes, he lived up to it by making the pick. And a terrific play to set up Michigan State. Great field position at the Oregon 30. Now Connor Cook going to strike, fires it into traffic. Machado's now in at right tackle for him. Cook gets it out to Shelton quickly. Shelton.
Time game. They're playing with different kind of focus.
And here's a big opportunity for a stop for the Oregon defense after that turnover. Third down. Cook getting pressure underneath. McGarrett King slip away from one ducking. Pushing ahead. A victory over Hogan in the Rose Bowl. And also a Big Ten championship as the freshman L.J. Scott. Bears by one. Now trying to put Michigan State on top of Oregon. Second down and 8. Cook throwing over the middle. Got his man. First down and touchdown. He got in before he went down. They signaled touchdown and gave it to him. Burbridge stretching. Touchdown.
Yeah, his knee never touched. And Richie Daniels with a missed tackle there. He has a chance to stop it about the 3 or 4 yard line, but momentum and speed, he ran right through the, put it right on the money. See right here, he waits for him to be clear. The linebackers blitz, so it opened up the middle. We talked about Burbridge, how he's got to be able to step up and become the guy without Lippett. He's starting to really, I think, get into a rhythm here early in this game. And the Spartans offense with their second.
Already allowed 7 touchdown passes this season. Kickoff is going to go very short. Ball's loose. Somebody better jump on that thing. And the ball is still loose. Find that game on the watch out. Vernon Adams right through the hands of Charles.
Moving around, see the stemming and the moving, starting to create some confusion up front.
Going to try it again. This time Nelson sure-handed. Nelson's explosive. He is.
Then you can go back to the inside running game with Freeman.
Nelson now coming in motion. Royce Freeman One man to beat. He slips inside him and a sure tackle. Hands.
It's just a play or two that can spark it.
Adams pumps. Now flips it out on a little attachment play. Nelson has it again. He steps through a couple of Spartans. Adams to a wide open Braylon Addison. Addison spins away from a tackler. He's inside the 20 and dragged down finally.
Look how soft his coverage is right here. Man-to-man coverage. And then you've got a great effort by Byron.
Just after we send the Ducks an unproductive series, they're right back to moving it. Finding the big tight end, Evan Bailey. And a little size to block. Adams going to keep it on the run, trying to beat a couple of Spartans to the corner. Adams reaching.
But I love his toughness right here and his determination. He's not going to run away from you, but he's going to give you a little bit of a stiff arm, and then he's going to fight to try to get to that goal line. Great effort.
He got a great spot as a result. And now
ball start. Offense number 83.
Adams pulls it down. He's got a crease, but a great
center Haggerty gets off of him and makes the play.
Now Freeman tries to go over the top to see if Tempo can get him in. Freeman, boy, that was some good penetration. Vernon sending Marshall in motion. The give is to Freeman. Freeman pushing to the goal line. Michigan State.
Right, you'll see the push right here, number 4. And on 4th down goal, that's what you want to see right there. Look at that. That is a 6'6", 275 defensive tackle, pushing it into Freeman's face. And the play was so slow and developing because of the penetration by McDowell. Freeman did the best that he could to try to fight.
Matt Haggerty on roller skates. He's driven him to the other end of the field roster in the game, and also a fullback. So it looks like they're going to try to blast it out of there. And you don't want to dance sideways too much down there and give up a couple.
A chance at all.
3rd down, Cook needs 9. He also needs to get rid of it before he gets hit. He found a security blanket.
Late blitz from Rodney Hardrick right here, the middle linebacker. But the great protection, and as you said, he gets separation. And he's kind of a sneaky, fast tight end. That size, it's surprised to see him take a shot.
I wondered if they would out of their end zone take in that game between the Volunteers and the Sooners. Little fly sweep to Shelton. Shelton. Cook standing in there. That was a bit of a dangerous throw. McGarrett Kings made the grab. Innocent is standing at his 30. Hartbarger unleashes another beauty that drives Addison back to the 25. Picked up a block. No flag came. Now it does. Late flag for a block in the back on the initial helper.
Return, illegal block on the back, number 26 on the return team.
You get into that issue, and I would think the logical guess would be Notre Dame in the stage. Fouled Marcus Mariota. Short completion on 2nd down. Had to pass a mad clown. Adams ducks under one pursuer and then gets Revit at the end, and he has a man open. It's Hassan.
Last year to Michigan State. This is a left-handed throw. I'm just going to throw it left-handed. I'm just going to work. I'm going to work with my right to keep you off, man. I'm just going to throw.
I just gave Vernon Adams, who knew he was ambidextrous also.
Right.
Now Adams uses his right arm and tries to put him the same, and he's picked off for the 2nd time.
Down. They flood it to the right. And they're trying to catch the Michigan State defense napping, and he just underestimated or didn't.
Well, we had to count back. That's kind of what we were doing. Yale and Army are the two as Connor Cook's pass.
This offense, something we've seen a lot of, where they kind of pump fake right here to get the defense to come up. And instead of going here, they actually go there to try to get it thrown to the outside. And he ends up stepping up and just throwing it, not seeing the safety who just watched him the entire time.
Cook pulled it out of L.J. Scott's belly to stretch that advantage here late in the 1st half. Back to the ground, patiently running and getting the 1st down to cut you. So you better be using your hands legally. It's completely legal. He's a devastating blocker. That time he takes on the block up high, and L.J. Scott runs.
They've come up front.
Cook on the move. Fires it into a tight window here.
Pass interference. Defense number 12.
Ifo Ekpreolomu was injured.
Yeah, here he is, just grabs onto the jersey. Easy call for the official. And I think
438 yards passing to Eastern Washington. Connor Cook going to try to get a big chunk here, but he threw it into traffic and for Michigan State. Cook, this time it is intercepted. He tempted fate a couple of times. That might have been a miscommunication, and it's picked off by Ugo Amadi.
Corner sits, and he's just going to drop back in coverage with his eyes on the quarterback, and it looked like Kings goes down to the inside, and he might have when he was breaking down his route. You know, if you're a yard or two short or a little bit longer, you're not on the same page with the quarterback. And these are guys that have played together for 3 or 4 years. You would think that would not happen. Here's the eyes of Connor Cook reading and looking into that defense. One thing that he really has worked on this year is not being
even before halftime. Tunnel screen. There's Byron Marshall. Haven't heard much from him tonight. And Oregon with all 3 timeouts to work with. Vernon Adams. He checks it down. Freeman's got the edge. Freeman knocks off one man inside the 35. Gets out. Adams dancing around, and he dances.
Its defensive line is having their way up front. I mean, that's just men against boys. Craig Evans is a backup. He's a freshman.
They're taking a lot of time for a team that loves to go quick. Adams pump fakes, and down he goes. The goal stand at the 1-yard line. Oregon would already be even. Now they have 36 seconds to get something on the board.
Soft coverage on the inside receivers.
Adams bails out of there, throws it to the outside, incomplete. We've got a whole second half of this coming. Vernon Adams on 4th and 11, going to take a shot. Got a man out there.
3 receivers to the bottom, and they kept Marshall isolated against a freshman, Copeland.
They're not going to let me come around.
My offense was probably the most in rhythm.
Underway in the second half, and the Spartans will start on the 25. First snap of the second half, Spartan will go to the ground, and the gain on the last carry. So Connor Cook looking at 2nd and 10. He fires it, looking for Joe Pocket. Shelton in motion now. Spartans need 10. Little stun up front. Michigan State picks it up well. Under 50% completion percentage in the opener against Western Michigan. He's been better tonight, 12-17. Another good punt from Hartbarger. Braylon Addison looking for the edge. Addison's got some room, and he's got a blocker. Addison turning on the Jets inside the 30. High-stepping Addison into the end zone. Touchdown Ducks.
9, Monte Nicholson right there. Little move, and then the blocks that set it up. They set the wall up, and when you give the Oregon speed a chance to work in the open field, and then great effort right there by the outside linebacker, Prevost, to pick up.
Nobody has had more. Extra point on the way. It is
great to see Braylon Addison back playing for the Ducks after missing, as you said, the entire year last year.
R.J. Shelton. Brand new game, all locked up at 14 after that punt return, and Oregon has done a terrific job against the Michigan. Wow. Stanford, who can stay healthy, certainly has the skills out to the outside.
They're only 1 of 6.
Cook fires the slant.
Some Britt on the road early this season. That is a big win for Bob Stoops, Oklahoma.
On 2nd down, Connor Cook goes back to the other side of the field, finds King again.
The outside linebacker drop off, and so he comes back to his left. He wanted to throw the ball to the right. The outside linebacker.
Highly recruited guy. He has developed into a terrific leader. Now with good protection and good time. And
watch his pocket for Connor Cook. I mean, look at that. He is clean. Nobody gets close to him. And here's Burbridge again, this time going up in the air. He gets great separation. The physicality of that running game after you throw on the ball.
And here they come with a running game, but not much there. Boy, the Ducks
game. See if Cook can deliver.
And Cook delivers to Burbridge again. Goes to a huddle. That might give us a chance to get that shot in. Connor Cook again, well protected.
But watch his feet. Watch his footwork. Right here, watch how you think he's going to step into the throw, and watch how he just kind of sits on his back foot. You can go ahead and roll this. See that? All that experience, and even a guy like
Shelton in motion. Cook finds Burbridge, and Burbridge has it inside the 10.
Slip behind the coverage, a well-designed play and perfectly timed. And Cook's trying to go tempo here to try to be in attack mode inside the 10.
They'll go to the ground. L.J. Scott. Scott looking for the corner. L.J. Scott, touchdown.
Last year against Oregon, as the game got away from them, this year they vowed not to do the same.
Now Oregon, whose last score came on an electrifying punt return. To see if they have anything in the kickoff return from Byron Marshall. Spartans have had trouble covering kicks and punts. Ducks go back to work. Keep it on the ground with Royce Freeman. Nice pickup.
4 yards a game on the ground last year.
Back to the ground would be
game.
Adams wanted to throw it this time, but he is caught correct. The game last week. It's the first indication tonight that he's seen that it's bothering.
For him to let go of that football, he's lucky he landed on it.
Marty London
talking to another coach.
Spartans go back to the ground. London slips through the initial test.
Paul Lang behind that offensive line. He running behind the offensive line, but let's give London a lot of credit because there wasn't a lot of room.
I think compares L.J. Scott to him. Connor Cook now going to go up top, throwing it to the outside. 10. State spreads out. Cook firing out.
What he wants to do with the football. He's worried about the corner, but it's the linebacker right here that makes the play on the football. He's lucky that Coleman did.
Prevost trying to turn the corner. Cook steps up, fires it
into the pocket. See the edge? The pressure off the edge on both sides by Prevost and French. Steps up, makes a great throw.
Boy, McGarrett Kings has been his guy on third.
Illegal substitution. 12 men on the defense.
Where it's been thrown downfield.
He'll stay on the ground instead and pick up a one or maybe two from London.
We can't quite give up on being that pounding team.
They run it again. London inside the 40.
Jack Allen, 66. A great block to open that up right into the middle of the Oregon defense. He works, not only pushes Balducci back, but also is able to climb up.
Tonight in East Lansing. Cook down the middle. He's got his
tight end right here. He's going to sneak behind. And when you throw this, you got to get it over this linebacker right here, Rodney Hardrick. And he's up out of the way. So then it's the other linebacker who slides back.
At the 19-yard line, just in the red zone. Back to the ground. London on the right side.
The tackle over on the right.
They run that way. Tried to cut back. The result of all of that is that Connor Cook had to try to convert a 3rd and 10. Steps up in the pocket, floats it, and
who do we talk about? He locks in into the red zone. This is his guy. Look at that. Remember, Tyree Robinson is 6'4".
Ball is on the way. And this time
Alabama's for real next week.
The defense can put some heat on you. Short kickoff, rolls around
28%. He's off on his calculations there completely.
Adams out to Braylon Addison completely.
He's starting to learn a lot more about him.
Freeman carries it across.
And that's what they're learning about him.
They desperately need a first down here.
Because right now it doesn't feel that way.
Nelson trying to get the corner. Charles Nelson stays on his feet across the 2004 against Wazoo. See if Vernon Adams can rally him. Good start to the 4th quarter for the Ducks. Says
Royce Freeman this year in the running game.
Now Adams off play action down the middle. Braylon Addison makes the
behind them, and the ball was thrown a little wobbly, but he got it in there.
Yeah.
Ball start 78 offense.
Back up 5. Addison in motion. Give to Freeman. Nothing doing.
Entire running game.
Adams out in the flat, too high. On 3rd and long, they flip it out to Freeman in the flat, and he tries to navigate his career here at Eastern Washington. Doesn't need touchdown, just a first down on this one. Adams firing out for Addison, and it is a strike incomplete and a first down. A terrific throw from Vernon Adams.
It's an absolutely gutsy Adams on 4th down. He gets it right over the corner that time. Hicks it in.
Freeman. Big does that look about now? Adams going to keep it himself. Vernon Adams.
Vernon. Like right now, they're down there saying they're impressed. Tempo offense in 4 weeks, and then you go on the road to East Lansing and play this defense. In Oxford, it's going to be a fun one to watch.
Well, the Rebels have found some offense in the early going. L.J. Scott returning the kickoff. Scott still on his feet, shedding tackle.
About how he's been kind of by himself and feeling it to see if he could continue, and again showed some toughness and grit there on that drive.
Oh, jet sweep. R.J. Shelton turning the corner. He's got tremendous speed.
One of the first times tonight, Oregon's got outflanked on the jet sweep. He cuts underneath. They actually didn't get outflanked. He actually just cut underneath.
Territory. On the ground, L.J. Scott. BYU. Mark Scott just short of the first down last carry. He gets it this time and runs through another one. Scott inside the 20. Scott on his way. Will they get there? Touchdown, Michigan State. And just like that, Michigan State.
Freshman out of Hubbard, Ohio. He bounces his back. Great vision to recognize it. Breaks through 2 arm tackles. And this is the thing that's impressive. That's a corner chasing him down. And he gets into the end zone.
And now the lead is 10 again. 10:51 to play. And now it's Oregon's turn. Fumble on the kickoff. Marshall picks it up. Tries to find a little running room and is able.
Guard here in Centerville, Ohio. The Elk double team here, make a great block, and also right here, the right tackle. They're going to open this up. It's a double team into the inside, just imposing their will here. And look how he turns his back to the hole and makes this block. And then the vision right there from the freshman, L.J. Scott. And that's the thing, again, that's impressive.
Now Vernon Adams has it back at his own 17-yard line. They give it on the inside, and there's some running room for Royce Freeman. Left the field under his own power. Tony Brooks James, the speedster, getting his first carry.
Powerful Freeman.
Back to the ground. Brooks James able to elude people with that speed. First down after the run from Brooks James. Vernon Adams escapes the reach of Shalik Calhoun. Adams going to keep it himself and picks up his.
Saw that. Watch the right tackle here as quarterback steps up.
And it was Shalik Calhoun that was just a big performer. And, he desperately wants to get back in this game. Benoit's running back, he's blocking, and Nelson. Benoit hit immediately.
Now nobody blocks it. Watch how quick he reacts to this. That is, of all the linebackers, he might be the most physical of the bunch out of Upper Arlington, Ohio.
Adams. Oh, beautifully set up screen. If Bayless can get to the stick.
The call here. You got a tight end that's in blocking. And you just wait to the last second. The experience of Bayless there. You wait to the last second.
He stretched it out, and he did by half.
A touch pass to get over their heads, and Lawrence.
Brooks James has it. Looking for room. Slipping tackles, and the lead back for the Ducks. And we've seen more from Brooks James at long one. Adams going to throw for it, going to take the shot, and a man out there. And Adams keeps Adams straight.
It looked like he extended and got it. Good job by the right guard, Cameron Hunt, who came around, picked that linebacker Cooper, or Bulla up right there. And then he looks like, again, they're going to actually review the spot. But Hunt climbs up the second level.
An airing. But it's a
offense. It's very different when he's running tempo versus a guy who's still learning the offense, even tonight.
And not having Royce Freeman there to try to pick up that short yardage certainly hurt as well. Landon's averaging nearly 7. It was London who had the big 62-yarder. Scott this time stopped in his tracks.
Out over 4 quarters.
On 3rd down. Connor Cook throws in a long punt return. See how the Spartan coverage team does this time. Addison, let's go over his for the Ducks at running back. Melvin in motion. Adams buying a little time and firing complete. It's Addison. Addison headed to Michigan State territory. Adams a lot of time. Thought about taking a shot, pulled down, gets what he can, gets about
holding defense against an eligible receiver.
Yeah, that's.
And
as the officials still confer, you can have a look.
To your left here. Maybe a little contact there. The flag's not out though. It came out right there.
A penalty has gone against the Spartans. Ducks perhaps thinking about time. Adams fires to Nelson, who took
and lowered the boom.
Adams getting heat, dances away from it, now throwing, complete, slipping a tackle is Addison. Addison knocked down inside the
find an open man.
Back to the ground, Freeman spinning. Patience Helford to live with. 5 minutes, tunnel for Addison, shaking guy. Addison pushed out of bounds.
R.J. Williamson coming up and trying to make the play. Instead of sitting back, he comes to the ball. And by coming to the...
It's a $139 for Addison. Now back to the ground with Adams. He's trying to find his way, and as making checks, and then the flags fly.
I think
give him a false start.
Looked like Michigan State moved as well. Both.
False start. 72 offense.
Adams still has it, scrambling, and just gets rid of it.
Hands up into the face.
Personal foul, hands to the face, number 4 on the defense.
Could have called holding on this guy that he's going up against.
Yeah.
Right in the bottom there. Yeah. There's a hold, there's a hand in the face. Which way?
Now on 1st and goal, headed to the corner, to the end zone. Royce Freeman touchdown, and there's another flag that's maybe coming back for a hold.
Holding call, left tackle.
54 offense.
Right here on the edge, just locks up with Cooper, and if he doesn't do that.
Adams, good protection.
Better run.
We're buying a little time. Still looking. Now firing it into traffic. That is not smart.
Interesting call by Michigan State, spying Adams.
The deflection. Another opportunity. Adams steps up, avoids one-on-one coverage in the back, and it's Marshall. Games with a touchdown pass for the Ducks.
Watch this. Both guys kind of pushing back and forth. Good no call. Marshall goes up and makes the play. Puts it up in the air. I'll tell you, one of the toughest things when you're a young quarterback in a new system, they just kind of threw that up and hoped that Marshall would make a play on it, and he did.
And they do kick it away. Shelton's going to bring it out. R.J. Shelton.
They take a chance.
On the ground with London, and London is knocked down in the backfield. Cook is going to try to take care of it, you would think. Instead, they're going to let Cook throw it. You think they'll trust him if he can lead him to a score here? Hartbarger gets the punt away, and Michigan State better cover this punt carefully because Addison's been dynamite tonight. Braylon Addison. Addison to the 50s into Michigan State territory. Nelson in motion. Ducks have time to keep it on the ground. They've got Royce Freeman inside the 4. Freeman trying the middle. 90 seconds left in the game. Adams taking a shot. Marshall's out there. He was by.
Michigan State's defense. There's no safeties behind him. He stumbles, loses balance. Look at that. He's all lost.
3rd down and 7. Spartans bringing pressure from the outside. Adams in trouble. Adams tries to get away, and he does not. A sack.
Show it, but it drops, and then it comes from here, and even a corner brought the pressure as well. So confusing. The Oregon offensive line, he had open people. If he would have been able to just sit in there and just get rid of the ball as quickly as he can, or if he could have been able to get away and buy a little bit of time, he had some open receivers. But Michigan State lives on the edge themselves and how they coach defensively, and they brought the house.
4th and 16. Adams stepping up. Adams firing, short hops and incomplete.
2 plays. They brought pressure in the previous play, and this time they rushed 3 and they dropped 8. They played man underneath and they dropped safeties so he couldn't just throw up one of those one-on-one, just kind of jump balls. They took everything away. If anything, Oregon's stock goes up, not down.
on the ground with Madre London. And this balanced Michigan State offense has done enough, and London play not perform in terms of wins and losses as well as they would have lost a year ago in Eugene when they let a second half lead get away. A little bit of a cathartic feeling as the clock strikes 0. Mark D'Antonio